welcome to the MENA Search Awards webinar. Today we'll be discussing AI in SEO, the rollout of Google's AI overviews in the region and how business can prepare for it, the importance of ranking for navigational and information queries on AI, such as ChatGPT and Gemini, why online shopping is on the rise, and the growing search industry in the MENA region. And our judges will be sharing their tips on completing the entry form and maximising your scoring potential. Mariam, over to you just to introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, first of all, it's lovely to be here. So thank you for having us. And Ramadan Kareem to our audience and in and out of the MENA region. I'm Mariam. SEO's been my world since before graduating. So I know it, I love it, heart and soul. My SEO journey began back in Dubai, the heart of the MENA region. And after working there for about 8 years, getting my hands dirty with SEO agencies, with both large and small SEO clients across the MENA region and beyond, I then moved to Amsterdam about 3 years ago, where I now lead the global SEO at Versuni, formerly known as Philips Home Appliances. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks, Mariam. And over to Murat.
Hi, very nice to meet with you. Thanks for inviting me to this event. It's an honor to meet with your audience. So my name is Murat, and I live between Poland and Turkey. I'm also spent most of my time I spend in Poland. I have a consulting company. I provide SEO advisory to clients to build their organic user acquisition channels and then optimize their conversion funnels. And I help them with their content marketing initiatives as well. Before that, I used to work at Google in search for 5 years. And after that, I've joined two startups called Brainy and Global Savings Group. I helped them grow to the point that's like almost 500 million monthly unique visitors we had. So that kind of covers overall about me. And right now, since I believe in continuity of learning, I'm studying at Stanford University, and I also become a mentor for Google to help accelerating the startups.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, so what seems like the biggest conversation in search right now is AI. What are you seeing right now, Mariam?
Yeah, where do I start? It feels like AI's been around forever, even though it hasn't. And I think, honestly, as the unofficial SEO go-to person in my circles, I always get the same reaction every time I say, be careful when using AI for SEO. People stare at me like, is AI coming for your job? Is that why you're warning us about it? But yeah, I've seen enough cases where big established websites got completely wiped off Google's index, especially after the March 2024 content update. So yeah, I'll keep repeating it. AI is indeed powerful, but it's not a free pass to infinite content. And that's exactly what I discuss in my article on the MENA Search Awards website. It's called AI for SEO, Friend or Foe. That's where, I tackle the $1 million question. Can we indeed use AI to enhance SEO? And if so, how? I break down every SEO task and I give either a green or a red light for AI usage, and I explain why. But to sum it up, here's the deal. Google is not going to prioritize you as a website owner or as an agency, or it's definitely going to prioritize its users. And that's not out of philanthropy. It's because the more people trust Google, the more they use it, the more expensive its ads will become. So in a nutshell, if your content is useful, informative, entertaining, unique, then you've got Google behind you, right? Backing you up. You've got its green light. AI or not, doesn't matter. But if Google, the smartest, biggest search engine out there, sees that your content is not unique, it's not useful, looks like 100 other pages, or worse, straight up plagiarized, because let's call a spade a spade. ChatGPT is basically a glorified copy-paste machine. It doesn't have a mind of its own. And so if you do that, how do you expect to outrank content that's packed with original research, fresh data, real actual value? How are you planning to, compete against everyone else who's practically doing most of what you're doing, churning out content using generic AI fluff? So I think your content just has to stand out. It has to genuinely be useful. And this has always been and will always be my 2 cents on any change when it comes to SEO, AI or not. I think what the smartest brands should be doing is using AI because it's inevitable. We have to use it in this day and age. It's just that it should complement the SEO strategy, not replace it. And it should be for scaling efforts, sure, but while keeping the strategy and the creativity, human driven. That human element needs to stay in there. Yeah, that's my 2 cents, I guess. Murat, I don't know if you have any other thoughts about that.
Yeah, these are wonderful points. I agree with all of them, especially the way that you mentioned how it's not replacing the SEO, but completing it. I can't agree more. This is my almost 15 years in the industry, and I have seen quite a lot of revolutions. I was actually inside Google when we launched Panda and Penguin, and I've seen how the mobile has changed the way we use different devices, and that's why the way we optimize the real estate we had on the websites. But none of them has been as disruptive as AI. So this is huge. First, we need to embrace that this is a revolution. And together with like the quantum computing, this is gonna go another level. But at the same time, I don't see it as a threat to current jobs or of our current situations. It's gonna change and we will need to wave with it. Whoever is like already taking its position will be winning. And I like to give maybe an analogy. For example, we invented the cleaning robots. We invented like so many things that didn't actually change the notion of cleaning. We still have to clean. We still have to keep things clean as possible. And this is going to be the same in our industry. The search is a notion of like, fundamentally, we need to search information. And at some point, we might not need to focus on the keywords themselves, but we might need to think more kind of like using this natural language processing and need to understand what the users are actually trying to achieve. So we need to understand the journey behind their searches. And that there's actually a good framework for that, which is called Jobs to be Done. If you use frameworks like that and you understand the pain points of your users and you can map them with your services or your products, then you can use AI for your advantage to offer better services. Just an example, a travel website, they use the AI tools to generate personalized content for users based on their search behavior. And by leveraging AI, they saw 30% increase in their organic traffic. I also had the same kind of experience with one of my clients, Blinkist. We used AI to create summary of the book pages, and we have increased the traffic massively with that. That also helped us boosting the user engagement, thus increased our revenues. So I will say adapt to the change. Well, there's no need for too much of a resistance.
Yeah, indeed. And I hear a lot of brands freaking out, like you mentioned, about Google losing its market share. After all, I mean, they just published the number. It was 5 trillion searches per year, and we're talking about a couple of billion for LLMs. I mean, yeah, I think let's be honest. The way people search online is going to change. But if you have the right content, like you mentioned, if you have the creativity, if you have that uniqueness to it, then I don't think that you should be too worried.
Well, I 100% agree. That's a very good point. Just wanted to add something on top of it. Of course, some industries will feel this impact fast and right away. I think news websites, the media outlets, are already experiencing a huge drops in their traffic, and they've been trying to find better ways to earn revenues, like create more revenues from their organic searches for many years, but now they are seeing very big drops. But in order to adapt, I think the ones who focus on depth and authoritative content that AI cannot easily just summarize, they started to win. So at the end, we need to understand what are the very good capabilities of AI. It doesn't replace the authoritativeness and the in-depth need in the content. I think people will still search for it. But as Mariam mentioned, this is changing. So we just need to understand the trends and adapt to them.
Yeah, indeed. I don't know if you've heard about the latest lawsuit, Chegg's lawsuit. It's hilarious. I mean, they're basically calling out Google for content theft, for its monopoly. Accusing it of keeping users on there more so than sending them away to people's websites. Because if people find the answers on there, why would they really click? So yeah, I honestly can't wait to see what happens there. Will other businesses follow? Will AI overviews change and adapt over time? I don't know. I honestly, I can't. I'm very excited to see what happens there.
That's a great example you provided. Like Chegg, it's very near to what my experiences, because I worked at Brainly for more than 4 years, helped them grow their user base to 400 million monthly unique visitors, and the thing is, Chegg has been in partnership with Google to get these quiz search appearances. So that means they have an organic partnership as well. But on top of this, I think it's a very strategic move from their side to file this lawsuit, because at the same time, the high judge, the court in US also decides that Google is a monopoly. So they are adding their notion into that. They're attaching to this. I believe many companies will join to that. It's a very strategic move. But at the same time, Google is also trying to figure out how they are going to serve to this web ecosystem that is changing.
The MENA region should definitely pay close attention to what's coming their way. It's inevitable, right? And I think, like I mentioned, a lot of businesses are freaking out, and I think it's because it's a black hole. It's new. We don't know what's happening there, especially with the Google Search Console and it not showing AI overview traffic separately. We don't know the impressions. Are we winning? Are we losing? What's happening? And there's this whole debate about whether Google is lying to us. Why can't we see the numbers all over LinkedIn? It's fun to watch. But here's my take. AI overviews mostly show up for informational queries. But what does that really mean for businesses? I think, like you mentioned earlier, for one of your clients, I think that creativity needs to be there, where you summarize the book. You already have that information. You have developed that information. And so summarizing it using AI, I think that's the right way to go about it, rather than creating content from scratch. And that's where I think authorship is and will matter more than ever. It was already very important, but I think now is going to be a lot more important to show that you're the authority on the topic. And like you also mentioned before, it's no longer just about the keywords and running a keyword research, identifying what people are searching for, and then turning up, and writing content. I think it should be more topic centric, and us covering subjects more deeply, not just with a few scattered keywords. I don't know, probably schema markup will help, but only if the content is useful. But I think one thing that brands need to know is that AI overviews are more about brand exposure. They're not for clicks. They're not for conversions. Not right now, at least, not for the most part. So if we rank there, I think it would help our brand to be top of mind. But it's not a traffic driver, not yet. So I don't think we should be too worried at the moment. But maybe run tests and see where you rank for your informational queries. That's at least what I do.
That's a perfect takeaway. I love the way you put out this experimenting. That's the way to go. This is everyone needs to have this mindset. I think this is a mental model rather than just let's do something differently. It's a big shift to run small, meaningful experiments and keep doing the things that you do very well. One of the things, as you mentioned, the informational, AI overviews are popping up in informational queries mostly, and the interactions with the other LLMs are also mostly in informational basis, not like direct commercial intent is in there. And when it comes to informational, like how much was this informational traffic was directly converting to your revenue anyways, yeah? So you should focus in that. Like it's not important. It was a vanity metric to have all these, traffic and so on. So if you focus on like the real user engagement, then maybe actually you're not losing much. So I think this is like the mind shift rather than just let's do things slightly different.
Yeah. But I would love to hear your thoughts on AI-generated answers, ChatGPT, LLMs. I get asked all the times, how do we rank in ChatGPT's answers? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I believe there are like three notions in there. The first one is the good old basic technical SEO. We need to make sure that your website is crawlable. Your website is, these engines can actually discover your content and understand what's happening. And the second part is, again, it's like traditional SEO, which is you need to write like helpful content, as Google says. Maybe another interpretation of that is like in-depth, personalized, really authoritative, as you mentioned, somehow credible content. I have a client that I'm working for over 5 years now, and I help them become the most credible in their own industry, and it cannot be shaken by others. $7 billion brands entered there, but they couldn't overrank because they copycat, because they tried to just like take what we did and they kind of like did the same, but they didn't really understand the notion. The notion was we hired the experts and something like this event right now, and we included the experts and asked them questions, and then you build on top of it. So I guess like this first part is make sure that your website is discoverable, your content is discoverable by LLMs. Second, make sure you write like meaningful content, not just, you need to put effort in there. And then the last thing is you need to identify, as you mentioned, how you are matching with different topics. And this kind of happens with also Google's knowledge graph. So like Google's definitely using that. They've been doing this like topical search for more than 10 years. They became an AI-oriented company also 10 years ago. So if you use markups and try to position yourself in there, that's helpful. Maybe the fourth one, which is tough, and I don't want to say something like super controversial, but I guess you need to own your message out there as well. You cannot just rely on your own website. So you need to go out there, I don't know, join Reddit, join like other websites, collaborate with them, do PR studies, and create multiple other websites on these topics. So you need to mention about yourself, not on your own media, but over earned media as well. And that helps building up this visibility, I believe. Do you agree with that, or?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think you basically went back to basics, and it's everything that I always say. Think of it like optimizing for Google. You have the technical. Can LLMs actually reach your website? Can they read it? And then is your content useful, informative, unique? And then do some off-page with PR and social signals. Just go back to basics. I think AI platforms like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, all of them, they scan the internet much like Google does. At least that's what I would like to believe until we hear more information about the subject. They use keywords and semantics. That's how they understand what's out there. And I don't know if you've heard about the study by Datos, where we've seen the graph, dip during summer of users on ChatGPT. And that did not happen on Google, which, I mean, from my assumption and also Rand Fishkin's is that people are using it for educational purposes, for informational queries, and they don't do the same on Google. And so if you want to rank in AI-generated answers, I think just answer the burning questions people have, provide real beneficial information, not skyscraper technique like you mentioned, be it for links or content. I hate that technique. I just feel like it's practically, dare I say, stealing people's information and then writing more about it so you can outrank, and Google will pick up on that. And so the stronger your expertise and content quality, I think the better your chances. Yeah. Yeah, but back to the I think the main topic about the categories and the MENA search and how people should, write their entries, especially for AI entries. I don't know if you have any thoughts about that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Emily, but I think I've been part of Search Awards for about 9 years now, and I've done a good share of judging. I like on top of my head, I can directly say there are 3 things for me that is like changing the course of me scoring, like pre-scoring the entry. So the first is the clarification. Like when you're writing, creating your entries, I believe I really like the ones that are to the point, super clear, and have a story. And the story is concise. It's not going off topic. It's not giving unnecessary details. And it's not like the more you talk, the less you actually provide. So I believe a lot of entries are super good because they have figured this formula. So they can, how to say, without too much elaboration, they actually relay their message right away. And then the second important part for me is to see the return on investment. In majority of the entries are like the story is about an investment. And the ones that are standing out have highlighted and clearly displayed how much it impacted their revenues at the end, or how did they hit the targets. But not exactly not really like with the vanity metrics, but every investment has dollar values when you do that, and they can also at the end go to create some dollar values. And the ones that displays this clearly also gets, I guess, more visible. And lastly, I think visuals or analytical, backed up articulation helps. So the entries that do not overly visualize, of course, but use the visuals of especially critical parts. Maybe they are trying to explain their messaging in the entry or their outputs and so on with the dashboard. When they can use that, they stand out. And likewise, a good story, I guess, either need to be backed up by data or need to be matching with some sort of, how to say it? Sorry, I got confused a little bit. The good story should be either data backed or need to connect with an analogy, need to connect with something that has happened before. You either need to benchmark yourself with someone else, or if it's an innovation, you need to show that how your innovation stands in that area. Or if it's not an innovation, if you did something that was traditional but you did it very well, then you need to show how you stand from the others. So this is my threefold, I guess, strategy advice.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. And also, over the past years, I've judged so many entries, and for most of them, sometimes I think, I just wish I could call up the entrant and say, hey, just fix these tiny little things, or remove this, or add that, and your entry will truly stand out. And I think, yeah, that's why I put together a video breaking down the do's and don'ts of awards. It's up on my LinkedIn and also on the MENA Search Awards LinkedIn. But yeah, I was very, very, very impressed with what I've seen about AI in the the Global Search Awards, and now with the MENA region, I'm very excited to see how they will approach it. But like you mentioned, I think the judges would want to see real innovation. I think that's key. Using AI with innovation, not just AI for the sake of AI. For the most part, it's sometimes used as a buzzword. And what I would personally like to see is, using AI in a way that doesn't deceive users or Google. Like you mentioned, efficiency, sure, but how that was gained and showing clear ROI results. I think impact is very important. It's sometimes overlooked in entries. The entrance would be too much focused on the story and the challenges without writing about the impact. And when I double check their traffic, I see that the traffic has grown immensely. So include that in, add that in. That would really help your entry. And I think lastly, maybe creativity, something that I would be very interested to see is how did they use it differently? Did it help scale efforts while still aligning with SEO best practices? Because, an entry that is, we used AI to create 10,000 pages worth of content and automate everything without, a real strategy, that's not going to stand out. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what will happen next in the MENA region.
Yeah, me too. And I want to shout out to like you creating these valuable content. I have to underline the fact that everyone who is entering this kind of competition, they need to watch your video and read the content. There are a lot of gems in there for them to excel at what they do, because it's this is a business. It's like they need to make it so obvious for us to understand what's going on. So it's like the clarity and as you mentioned, the notions of like creativity, how we differentiate from others, and showing your impact. I can't agree more, 100%.
But now that we're, in Ramadan, with the searches changing, online shopping, mobile e-commerce, booming, no surprises there. What trends have you seen across your clients with regards to the online shopping, mobile e-commerce, especially in this period with Ramadan and Eid approaching?
Yeah, well, first off, again, as you say in the beginning, happy Ramadan to everyone. That's an amazing month. And as in every seasonal activity, I think it's quite important for website owners, especially if they are, operating in like an e-commerce site or a retailer and so on, to make sure they highlight their most critical products at the top. So they need to put this like enough visibility to their products that they know from previous season that worked. And launching, I think, Ramadan themed campaigns, such as, I don't know, Ramadan discounts, 8 outfits 2025 and stuff like that. I think that will be, quite targeted. So this will help them drive more sales in this period. So we can give one example, maybe from delivery services like grocery delivery, especially running campaigns like last minute 8 shopping or same day delivery. I think the orders will spike week by week, like minimum 50% if they do stuff like this. So at this time, it's important to have the analytical insights, so they actually know what's going on by looking in their own data from previous years, like from year-over-year trends. And if they don't have it, then they got tools like Google Trends. They got tools like a lot of websites like HRS, SEMrush to check out some keywords, try to understand what's changing. So it's important to be on top of the trends and then apply it, like transform their website to apply into these changes.
Yeah, no, I cannot agree more, honestly. And I think it's also very, very important to start planning ahead of Ramadan and Eid. I think people are, like you mentioned, very hungry for offers. So make sure that they're ready. I think it's not just that, the search behavior, dramatically shifts during Ramadan. So, I mean, from what I've seen while digging into the data, like you mentioned, is pre-Ramadan we see, more demand for groceries, home essentials, decorations, gifts, and then as we go into Ramadan, I think we also see searches rise for recipes, spiritual content, more health related. And as we get into the Eid period and ahead of Eid as well, is when we see, fashion, travel, gift related searches. That's when they really do increase. So I think if we're not ready ahead of time with seasonal content and offers, then we're definitely already behind. But one interesting trend that I've seen across different brands is that they're starting to invest in marketplace SEO. I've even seen some job postings on LinkedIn just for that, which is amazing because, like on Amazon or Noon, I think brands should definitely do that. They should add it to the mix. And though the number of things that you can really do on marketplaces are maybe not as much as what you can do on the website. So, for example, you can't really do technical SEO for Amazon or, write up a blog about your products. And arguably, you can't do off-page SEO. Arguably, I think that the growth potential there is huge because you have a lot of traffic. So I think what's important is to, again, experiment, run A/B tests, for example, on Amazon, see what converts better, keep testing. And I don't think that we should be dumping all of our budget into just the website, provided that it's in a good place, because I've seen a lot of brands where, they do the complete opposite, where they focus more on e-tailers and e-marketplaces rather than their website. But your website is your brand. It's who you are. It's where people go where they want, aftercare, or if they have a problem with their product, they need to make sure that you're available. I mean, I don't know for you, but sometimes I would like to buy things on Amazon just because I know that if I have a problem with my product, I can easily return it. Just that. And so I think it's very, very important to make sure that your website is in good shape before you start investing, but also, to diversify your strategy.
Oh, like these are golden advices, especially the one that you mentioned. Like, you need to get ready before the season starts. It's an absolute must. You can't just rush into it because it will be already too late. There is also this concept, in SEO, like this authority. So you build this page, and instead of like using, creating pages that is specific for that year, you can keep using the same page. In the meantime, I hope I don't have too much of a background noise. Did it start already?
It's fine. What you're saying is indeed golden. So we'll just ignore what's happening around you. It's not too loud.
I'm sorry. There's some construction happening here. So yeah, like, it's instead of creating like new pages every year and then redirecting it and then playing around this like technical small games, if you actually invest into like one evergreen page and you keep on updating it, that's one of the best ways to get ready. So you made a great point about like being ready for that, and then you can make yourself some I mean, you can help yourself with some tricks and with some tools to get ready easily. Another tool can be creating a content calendar. So if you have a content calendar that is in front of you, you will not panic like before these things happen. So you already know that, so you can plan ahead. I guess these are like golden advices. Absolutely need to be followed.
Yeah, yeah, I cannot agree more. And yeah, sadly, we're, I think, approaching the end of the session. So before we do that, I would love to hear your thoughts on, why search awards? Why are they important for MENA? Why should brands focus on them and try to enter?
Oh, that's a really good question. So I believe like the credibility is super important. Whatever you do in life, you need to get some credibility. And this like MENA Search Award recognition will not only help you celebrate your innovations and your excellence in marketing, but it will give you credibility. So in our industry, we do not get accredited. Like if you want to be a doctor and operate in the operating room, you need to study for, I don't know, 15 years and collect a lot of accreditation. The same applies to lawyers and so on. But does it apply to search engine experts? Like this is one of the way to get accredited. Like this is the credibility that recognize like there is a very selective process here and also very honorable process. A lot of rules apply and it's going for, correct me if I'm wrong, Emily, like more than 12, 15 years, I guess. So it's been going for a long time. So, and a lot of experts are here. I think it's a very good way to also like validate what you're doing and get this credibility. And also it's a very good platform to like showcase your work, like display what you did. And winning or getting shortlisted, it will enhance your reputation. And it will not only just attract new clients, but you can also boost your employees' morale with this. So at the end, it's a critical recognition you should go for. It's also when you put a goal, when you have a like certain goal, you perform better. If you don't have a goal, then you will drift away wherever the wind blows. So yeah, sorry
Yeah,
about
indeed.
this.
Indeed, yeah, no, I definitely agree, and I think these awards really do give agencies and brands, the recognition they actually deserve, and credibility is the cherry on top, I guess. But yeah, it's not just about feeling good about the trophies you take home. I think it's also that they actually push the industry forward. I mean, I've heard agencies at the beginning of the year thinking we need to, work hard on this campaign so we make sure that when we enter in MENA Search, we win for this particular category. So I think it's very, very cool to watch. That's one. But also, I think after moving to Europe, I can confidently say that Dubai, Saudi, and the wider MENA region are definitely innovating fast. I think what I see in the entries are mind blowing. Sometimes, a lot of the times, I must say. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens this year.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I share the same excitement. I must say, like one of the also great outputs of entering this kind of competition is like putting yourself a goal helps you learn, help you learn even better. I think you are a great example of that. Like you create so much content. I think when you do that, you're aiming, you're aiming to get a lot of knowledge, to share a lot of knowledge. One output is like you learn much more and you learn by efforts. I don't believe in learning by watching few YouTube videos and reading books and so on. You can read 50 books a year, but still not become a good leader. But if you enter this award and try to win, you will definitely become a better leader, a better version of yourself, because you will put a lot of efforts. So these things are, setting goals and setting the bar very high.
Yeah, Yeah, I can't agree more. Yeah, definitely. Well, it was honestly more than a pleasure to be here with you, Murat and Emily. Honestly, it's so much fun, and I wish we could continue for a bit longer. But yeah, over to you, Emily.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been really insightful, especially sort of the value of the awards, not only to the entrants, but the wider industry as well. Just to quickly finish and just round up, could you please just provide your top tips for entering and how to approach the entry form to ensure they include the information the judges want to see and the most out of the point allocations? Murat, I'll come to you first.
Of course. Well, I have to say this was amazing. Like, it was a great webinar. Thank you very much for providing us this opportunity. And Mariam, you did a great job. It was wonderful to talk. I didn't understand how much time passed. It was really good. So to summarize my recommendation, I will say, I'm going to kind of repeat myself, but I think the entry should be concise, to the point. So, sorry, it's becomes super heavy. So the first one, like, super concise, zero off topic, and then second, or maybe rule zero, follow the rules. Like, I think they are there for a reason. Like, if, for example, the rule says, it has to be 1,000 words, it needs to be, I don't know, 100 words, and you can't put 50 images and so on, you should not. So these are, like, because it's important to follow the rules so that every entry competes in a fair platform. Yeah. So if your entry is like 20,000 pages, it's not fair to the other entries. You provide much more information, and then the minimalism works. So the less you can explain, the better you will explain it. So make it like to the point, and then either be data driven or provide benchmarks or do some sort of provide some measurable impact, or maybe compare yourself with some other industry standards. And you need to highlight your uniqueness. So, why you? How do you differentiate? So even if you did something super traditional, in order for you to be successful, you must have excellently executed it. Then focus on your execution. But I mean, you need to differentiate yourself from everything else, like, to be recognized as number one. And yeah, I think that will be all from my side.
Thanks, Murat. And Mariam?
Yeah, honestly, I'm just going to reiterate everything Murat just said. I think it's very, very important to have a story. It's very important to know what you're going to write about before you begin the entry. You have a clear, ROI improvement. Showing impact is also very important. Creativity goes a long way. Also being genuine in the way you write. After all, judges are people. So speak to us. Show us, the before and after results. We do double check everything, but it's good to see that you're backing up your data with actual graphs. I want to see, how did your strategy really improve your clients or your brand's SEO, and have fun with it. I think it's definitely so much fun. I've before being a judge, I was also on the other side, entering in MENA Search, and winning feels amazing, and I hope a lot of brands can get that feeling. Honestly.
Thank you both for sharing your knowledge and experience. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing how the search across MENA evolves further in the coming year.